Hey, what is going on, guys? DK. Back at you with another video here doing the 4-game Olympic basketball slate that starts on Monday night. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is DK. I make daily videos and live stream for NBA and NFL slates on Draftkings, also making videos for PGA, Daily Fantasy Sports, and NBA Top Shot. If you're interested in signing up for premium content, I'll put it on patreon.com. 3 different packages. NFL package, I will be covering the preseason, which start in a few days. I believe Thursday is the first preseason game. An NBA package, that includes Olympic basketball and Summer League, and then an esports package, which includes Call of Duty and CSGO. I do want to thank PrizePicks for sponsoring this episode. So, if you're not familiar with PrizePicks, there are a couple different ways you can play. Let me refresh this real quick just to make sure we don't have the men's Olympic basketball up yet. No, I don't see it up yet, but I'm guessing it's going to be posted later tonight, if not early tomorrow. But we'll just talk on the women's side, so I'll give you an example. So, they'll post players and their projected fantasy scores, and you either take the over or the under. So, like Brianna Stewart's projected for 31 fantasy points. Again, you either take the over or the under on that. Or you can play single stat DFS. They'll have points. You can take. They'll sometimes rebounds, assists. You can take up like straight up over under on those. So again, 2 different ways you can play. You can also mix and match sports. They have every single sport you can think of. I like it too because the change of pace, you're not playing against someone. You're just playing against the house. So if you guys want to try it out, you can sign up. Use the code DKDFS. DKDFS, all one word, link down below. You'll get a 100% match up to $100. But if you put $100 in, you will get a free $100 to play with. And finally, I just want to thank you guys again for continuing to come out and check out these videos, check out the live streams. I really do appreciate it. If you guys could, leave a like button on the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Again, about half the people that watch these videos are not subscribed. So if you could, subscribing would help me out a ton. And hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos. And you know live, I will be doing a YouTube live stream tomorrow. So make sure to check it out. I'll go over the slate, talk about any injury news we have. And then, again, answer any questions you guys have. All right, so before we talk about players and the prices for this 4-game slate, we can look back and line up here from the last 2-game slate. So last slate for me was just, I finished, above average, like the 40 or like the 60th percentile, just above, half. But, so line up Tanaka, Brasino, Muric, Rui Hashimura, Pau Gasol, Luka, Garuba, and Prepelic. So forward was like so weak. You had a couple of sped ups like the Japan guys and Scola, and then you had like nothing else. So I went with Garuba, just hoping to get me a couple, maybe give me 8 to 10 points. He only got me 1.25, so I was kind of a letdown. He's about 50% owned. But yeah, the rest of my lineup, Rui was a little bit disappointing for a letdown. He started off awful. I think he started off 0 of 6. Did finish with 31.75 fantasy points, but needed a little bit more from him. Muric, just because small forward again was in one of those weak positions and he was cheap. Brasino was popular. Tanaka was popular. Also, Hijima was another popular value play. They all did really well. And Pau Gasol was decent for value. Luka Doncic was a little bit disappointing. Yes, only 45 fantasy points. Again, that is a disappointment for him. And then Prepelic was solid there with 26.5. So on the main slate, it was forgettable. I did cash in the showdown, so that was nice. I did make a little bit of money back. All right. So let's talk about this 4-game slate, guys. We're now in the quarterfinals. Germany and Slovenia, it's a 183.5 over under. Slovenia are 14-point favorites. Spain and the United States, it's a 179.5 over under. USA are 12-point favorites. Italy and France, a 169.5 over under. France are 8.5-point favorites, and Argentina, Australia, 171.5 over under, and Australia are 8.5-point favorites. So we'll go game by game, team by team. We'll start off with Germany and Slovenia. So on the Germany side, let's take a look at players and what they're averaging here for the tournament. So Embolo averaging just under 30 minutes. Same with Andreas Obst. You have Vautman playing about 25 minutes. Thielman played about 22. Same with Bonga. And then Wagner only playing about 15. He did get in foul trouble one game, but again, the minutes haven't really been super high on him. So let's take a look at these prices. So Wagner at 7.7, it's just going to be hard to get to him. Again, he did have 2 games ago when he got in severe foul trouble, only played 12 minutes, but absolutely smashed when he's out there, went for 28 fantasy points. But the last game, only 13 minutes, was not in foul trouble. So I just have a hard time getting to Wagner. Now, there was a couple exhibition games where he played more, but right now it's just a super risky spend-up play. Low, I think, is an interesting play, kind of in the upper mid-range at 7.2K. He's been playing massive minutes, about 30 minutes a game. Now, he shot awful last game, 2 of 12. 2 games ago, he had 9 turnovers. Again, though, he's going to handle the ball a ton. 4, 9, 5 assists. He's a decent shooter, even though he had a bad shooting game last game. So he's going to be pretty low owned. I think the upside is there with him. So again, I think I kind of like him as a contrarian play in the upper mid tier. Votman, I'll probably pass in a 5.9K. I think there's a couple other centers I do prefer, but he has gone for mid 20s minutes and 30 fantasy points the last couple games, which is decent for a guy in that price range. Isaac Bonga, 4.5K is playable. Again, he had a good game 1 in the last couple games. He's kind of cooled off a little bit. He hasn't been as aggressive on the offensive end, only shooting 5 and 2 times last couple games, which is a little bit concerning, but he is pretty cheap. And Thiemann, I think, is going to be one of the more popular value plays in the slate. 21, 26 minutes last couple games, going for 24 and 26 fantasy points. However, I do want to dig a little bit deeper into Thiemann. So let's take a look at some of the Olympic qualifier games and kind of what he was doing. So 18 minutes here, 4 points, 3 boards, no assist. 11 minutes in this game against Brazil, 2 points, 1 rebound, no assist. First game against Italy, 20 points, 4 points, 3 rebounds. So, yes, he has played really well last couple games, but maybe more outlier performances, right? So, I think this was, probably an outlier in a bad way, and these two are outliers in a good way. I think he kind of comes in between that and plays around 20 minutes and maybe gets 15-ish fancy points. So he might be a little bit over-owned on the slate. I'm not saying to fade him. I do think he is one of the better value plays, but I'm not sure we can expect 25 fancy points again from Thiemann. And then Andreas Opes is at 4.2K. He's been playing big minutes, playing about 30 minutes a game. It's frustrating because they don't have him listed as a shooting guard, even though he is a shooting guard, because that's all he's going to do, right? You just look at his stats, you can tell without even watching the games. 0 boards, 0 boards, 0 boards, 1 assist, 1 assist, 1 assist, all points. So, sharpshooter, and he is going to shoot the ball. He shot 16 times last game, so I think a fair value play. There is a risk, though, if he's not hitting his shots. The floor is somewhat low. All right, so let's move on to Slovenia. Luka Doncic. So I've been struggling, thinking about it today. How popular is Luka going to be at 13.2K? I don't think he's going to be as popular the last couple slates. I think the ownership will drop a little bit because there's some other spin ups that the price went down a little bit, where Luka, the price went up. Now, I still think Luka is probably one of the best spend ups on the slate, even at 13.2K. He's going to play, I would say, 36 minutes or so. He's a guy that's going to get you close to a double-double and shoot the ball a ton. So I still like Luka a good amount here, even at that price. I think there is enough value to jam him in there. Now, of the secondary kind of Slovenia guys, if I was going to go to another one, it would be Mike Toby. He's been a phenomenal point per minute guy. They like running the pick and roll with him and Luka. He's had basically a double-double every single game with 14, 11, and 14 rebounds last 3 games. Again, a decent shooter, a good rebounder. He's below 9K, and I think he plays around 30 minutes. So I do think Mike Toby is a pretty solid play. Will be low owned too, because even though I think the ownership drops in Luka, I still think he is going to be popular. So if people play Luka, again, like I said last couple slates, they're not going to play Mike Toby too. So I think that's just going to lower the ownership on Toby, but I think he's a pretty good contrarian spend up at that price. Kanchar, Dragic, I'll pass on their respective prices. Again, Kanchar shot really well last couple games, 5 of 5, 8 of 12. He's not going to continue to shoot that well. I'm going to pass. Now, Prepelic is a guy I'm intrigued by off the bench. He is a good point per minute guy, an aggressive player, and he's going to handle the ball a decent amount when he is out there. Stat lines, 22, 4, and 2, 12, 4, and 5, and 15, 3, and 2 with 2 steals. Again, he can do some of the peripheral stats. He's a shooting guard. Shooting guard is one of the weaker positions again. And I expect low to mid-20s minutes. I think he's a pretty fair play in the mid-range. I do have a little bit of interest there. Jacob Blazic is going to start and probably play mid-20s minutes. He is a little bit cheaper. So both Blazic and Prepelic, I think, are fine plays in the mid-range. Neither are going to be priority plays, though, for me. Ido Miric I'll mention because small forward is weak. 16, 16, 11 minutes first 3 games here. Not amazing. He was in foul trouble that first game. Not super aggressive from the offensive end, but he is playable below 5K. And that's probably it. I guess I'll mention Ziga Dimic too. This is going to be the backup 5. Probably play around 8 minutes. He's put 8, and 7 minutes the last couple games. Going over double digits in 2 of those last 3. However, center is pretty loaded, so I don't think we have to go there with Dimic. All right, let's move on to USA and Spain. So on the USA side, there's still a lot of guys that are overpriced. If I'm going to go to one of these spin ups, it's probably going to be either Lillard or KD because the minutes, right? These guys in competitive games are going to push for about 30 minutes. Now KD had a really good game last game, going for 45 fantasy points, shot 8 of 11, played 28 minutes. He's small forward too, so I think KD is one of the top spin ups of the slate for sure. Damian Lillard should be a little bit lower owned. A guard has a lot better plays, I will say. Again, that's why I think I give the edge to KD over Lillard because small forward is a little bit of a weaker position. So Dame is more of a contrarian spin up for me, even though if this game is competitive, he should play close to 30 minutes. So a little bit interested in him, but I think I'd rather go to KD. Drew Holiday's been solid for the USA, playing over 20 minutes each of the last 3 games, going for 35, 24, and 25 fantasy points. A guy that can kind of stuff the stat sheet. So I think it's a fair play, but, again, not going to be a priority for me. I'll pass on Levine. Tatum kind of got there in garbage time. I think a competitive game will play around 20 minutes, which makes him a little bit tricky to get to. I'm going to pass on Booker. Bam and Adebayo, I have a little bit of interest in at 6.7K. The reason I do is because Spain is a really, really big team, right? They have the Gasol bros, they have Hernan Gomez, Garuba. They're going to run at least one big out there at all times. Probably, most of the time they'll have 2 bigs. So that might force USA to play Bam a little bit more. He's played 25, 13, and 21 minutes the first 3 games. I think he plays low to mid-20s minutes. And at 6.7K, playable. Again, though, center is pretty loaded. We'll talk about some other guys who I really like here at the end. And that's probably it. Draymond, Middleton, Grant, McGee, Keldon Johnson. I don't think we have to go there. All right, so let's move on to Spain. And Ricky Rubio at 9.8K is one of my favorite spin ups. Yes, the minutes haven't been amazing. 22, 25, 24. But look at these shot attempts. 13, 13, 23 shot attempts against Slovenia. He's stuffing the stat sheet. 9, 4, 9 assists. He's rebounding the ball. I think Rubio's a really solid play at the top. Now, again, this is the quarterfinals. I would think he plays a couple more minutes. Right. This game obviously means a ton to Spain. They're underdogs here, so I think they're going to play their better players a couple extra minutes. That's just my guess. Now, no guarantee it happens, but I would not be shocked if Rubio plays 27, 28 minutes, and he's already smashing in low to mid-20s minutes. So I think Rubio is one of the better spin ups of the slate. Do like him a good amount. Now, the next tier for Spain, once again, I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm going to stay away from these guys. Claver, Marc Gasol, Fernandez. Don't play Juancho Hernan Gomez again, not on the team. It's just too pricey. They're spreading out the minutes. I'm not going to go to any of them. Pau Gasol, 5'7", is playable. Again, though, like I said, center, there's a lot of good options here. He's only going to play about 15-ish minutes. Now, he's going to be productive when he's out there, so you can go to him as a GPP play. But right now, nothing more than that. Now, Alex Abrines is a shooting guard. He got in severe foul trouble last game, had 4 fouls, only played 7 minutes. Previous games, 21, 29 minutes. So I think he's for sure in play, and shooting guard is weak, and he should play over 20 minutes in this one, even though he is reliant on the scoring. Hernan Gomez, Willie Hernan Gomez, 10, 12, 8 minutes. I think we get around 10 minutes from him. He's very, very cheap, but again, more contrarian value play. And then Sergio Rodriguez at 4.3K. I think he's pretty safe. We kind of know what we're getting out of him. About 15 to 18 minutes, going to be a high usage guy off the bench. Will handle the ball when he's out there. So fair value play, but again, don't expect massive minutes from him. And I'm not going to go to Garuba at that price. Let's move on to France and Italy. So France, Rudy Gobert, still overpriced me. The 2 guys that I like here, Fournier and Nando De Colo. So Fournier, 8.3K, did play 11 minutes last game, but that game didn't really mean anything to France. They didn't need to play the starters big minutes. In the other 2 games, he played 34 in a big game against USA, 27 to kind of blow it in Czech Republic. So I'm thinking if this game is competitive, which it should, we get low to mid-30s minutes from Evan Fournier. And shooting guard, like I said a couple times now, is a very, very weak. So if you just want to spend up for Evan Fournier, I think that's a good idea. I think he is one of the better spend ups, and he's 8.3K. You're getting him at a nice discount off of some of those other guys at the top, right? So I do like Fournier, and I do like Nando De Colo. He should play, I would think, around 30 minutes. He's going to handle the ball a ton. 5 assists in only 15 minutes last game. So, yeah, I like De Colo. I like Evan Fournier. I think they're both a little bit underpriced. And Nick Batum at 5'4", I actually think is a pretty safe play too. Should play 28 to 30 minutes, I would think, in a competitive game. Now, he's not going to be their top guy in offense, but he's a guy that can kind of do it all, stuff the stat sheet, and is cheap. So I do have some interest in Nick Batum. Fournier, De Colo, Batum, I like. I'm going to stay away from TLC, who kind of got there in garbage time last game. I'll mention Poirier because he is their backup center. Probably plays around 15 minutes, is a solid point per minute guy. So again, GPP value play if you want to go there. And then last one I mentioned here is Yabusele at 3.5. So He got injured here against the United States, playing 18 minutes. I still think it's incorrect. He only played 6 minutes against the Czech Republic, and last game played 19 minutes. So monitor the starting lineup. If he starts, I would think he plays at least 15 minutes, maybe 20. Really, really cheap. So I do have a little bit of interest in Yabusele because of the price point. All right, moving on to Italy. So Italy at the top, we have Fontenchio at 7.3K. He's been the most consistent player, been averaging around 30 minutes and 37, 29, 24 fancy points. I think is a fair play in the upper mid-tier. Gallinari, I'm probably going to stay away from. It's just a minutes thing, right? 19, only 9 minutes last game. Like, I'm not sure why he's not playing more. But if he's going to play under 20 minutes, I just don't think I can go there. Now, is there a chance that Gallinari plays more in this game, obviously in the quarterfinals? Sure, it's possible. Like, I guess I wouldn't be shocked if he plays 25 minutes. But, based on what we've seen the last couple of games, it's gonna be hard for me to recommend Gallinari with confidence. Now, Nico Manning at 5.6K, played about 25 minutes the first couple of games, only 16 minutes the last game. He did come off the bench. Now, he's going to handle the ball a decent amount when he's out there, so I kind of like him in the mid-tier. I would think plays over 20 minutes in this game. He has been one of the better players for Italy in the Olympics and in the qualifying games, so do kind of like Nico Manning. I think Nicola Melli's a fair value too. I think plays around 25 minutes. He had a really good game 1, bad game 2, and then bounced back game 3 going for 24 fantasy points. So, yeah, he's cheap. He should play mid-20s minutes. I think Melli's a good value, and I do like Polonara a good amount too at 4.6K. So, game 1, he was really popular. He shot 0 of 6, let a lot of people down. Last couple games, 22, 25 minutes, 23, 22 fantasy points. Again, when Gallinari was not in the exhibition games, it was him and Fontenchio were their top 2 players. So at 4.6K, I expect low to mid-20s minutes from him, and he should be productive when he's out there. So I do like Polonara a good amount here for value. And last one I mentioned here is Tunit at 4.5. Again, he's shooting guard. Played 30 minutes game 1, 22 game 2, 27 game 3. So I think we get around mid-20s minutes from him. Also, like Andreas Obst, very reliant on the scoring, so there is a little bit of risk, but he's cheap, and again, the minutes should be there. All right, guys, let's finish up with Argentina and Australia. So Argentina, Campozo and Scolo both went off last game, 9.2 and 8.8K. Both are fair prices. The one concern here is the minutes. The minutes haven't been amazing on Campozo or Scolo. Both are playing under 30 minutes in all 3 games, but they're going to be very, very productive when they're out there. 11 assists last game for Campozo. So, yeah, I think he's a solid spin up. Same with Scola. And he'll get you probably close to a double-double, a good rebounder. Did get a double-double last game. He's a good three-point shooter. I mean, I was watching that game. They were doing the pick and roll a ton. Campozo just kept kicking out to Scola. Scola kept knocking down some threes. So, both Scola and Campozo definitely viable. Gabriel Deck at 7.9K. Should play mid-20s minutes. Has been all right, 31, 15, and 29 fantasy points. The price, I would have wished he was a little bit cheaper there. And last time I mentioned, I do want to go over a couple more guys, actually. Laprovitola, kind of in the mid-range to 6.2K, had an awful game 1, only playing 14 minutes. Well, last couple games, 32, 29 minutes. Now, game 2 was when he took over, shot 9 of 14, went for 39 fantasy points. Last game, not so much, 0 of 8. But still went for 17 fantasy points, still went for 4 points, 6 assists, and 3 boards in 29 minutes. So he is going to be aggressive when he's out there. I do kind of like Laprovitola in the mid-range at that price. D'Elia, I think, is one of the better values at 5.2K first center. 17, 25, 23 minutes. I think plays 20 to 25. Australia does have a bigger roster with Kay and Jock Landale. So I think we get over 20 minutes from D'Elia. Good rebounder. Can get some putbacks. Not amazing in the offensive end, but again, should play minutes and is pretty cheap at 5.2K. So I do like D'Elia. Vildoza, 4.7K, 23, 16, 25 minutes last 3 games. I think it's a fair value play. However, again, point guard is loaded, so it's a little bit trickier to get to him. Brusino's the guy I think is going to be pretty popular, 3.7K, 15, 25, 30 minutes last 3 games. I think we get over 20 minutes from him. Again, shooting guard is weak. He's cheap and should play some decent minutes. So I do like Brusino for value. Let's finish it up with Australia. So Australia, definitely one of my favorite teams to target. We'll start with Patty Mills at the top at 10.5K. Right up there with one of my favorite spin-ups. 35, 36, 33 minutes. Again, going to play massive minutes. I would think about 35. Going to handle the ball a ton. Get those assists. Can score the ball. 16, 17, 23 shot attempts for Patty Mills. So he's one of my favorite spin-ups of the slate. Really like Mills. I'm staying away from Thibault. Ingles, just more of a contrarian spin-up. 32, 33, 27 minutes. I would think plays over 30 minutes too. Will probably be their number 2 on offense, but is kind of the number 2 to Patty Mills. And then a couple of value plays I like here. Nicholas K and Jock Landale. Really do like both. There's no Aaron Baines. Last game, Nicholas K played 31 minutes. So 26, 27, and 31 minutes for Nicholas K. And Jock Landale, 13, 24, 25. Again, this game he got in foul trouble. So I think we get mid-20s minutes from Landale and about 30 minutes from Nicholas K. Both are under 5K. Both are good point per minute guys. I do like both these Australian value centers a lot at 4.8 and 4.7 respectively. Dante Exum is playable for value. I think it's around 20 minutes, 24, 18, and 20 minutes the last 3 games. He's shooting guard too, so yeah, playable value. And then Delvedova 3.9 I think is going to be in the rotation, 17, 23, 16 minutes. I think high teens in minutes from him. However, again, he's point guard, and point guard is a pretty loaded position, so I'm not super excited about going there for value. All right, guys, that is going to do it for the video today. So if you've been enjoying the content so far, I would really appreciate if you leave a like button on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos and you know when I'm live. Again, I will be doing a YouTube live stream tomorrow, so make sure to check it out. Thanks again, guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow in the live stream.